Kia ora koutou katoa. Hello, I'm Lesley Ormsby, and I'm a psychic medium, a healer, and a teacher of spiritual and mystical things, and so much more. So part of the so much more is that I do these horoscope readings or astrological star sign readings for each sign, and I do them weekly and or monthly. So I generally do the monthly ones this week, at the last week of each month, but I've just been more drawn to doing a weekly one again. So this is for the sign of Gemini, so welcome to my YouTube channel, Gemini, and this session will be for suitable for those of you who are watching where they're changing the words around. So this is for Gemini, whether Gemini is in your sun, moon, rising, and or Venus sign. Okay, so there may be something going on with your Gemini where you're feeling like you need to be, where you're feeling like you need to be more specific and clarify on what you're actually wanting to get across or say to people. Now, it's like interesting because it's like there's a two-way thing going on there, and one of them is like maybe it's about making sure that you are being heard correctly and people understand exactly where you're coming from. And or the other side of it is because I noticed myself doing it yesterday, and just being more mindful about how I'm explaining things to people, and making sure that they get exactly where I'm coming from. So there's something about communication, okay? And it's interesting because there's something, the other side of that is that because I'm thinking, well, as I was explaining this, you know what I mean, eh? And it's like, yes, and they say, yes, I do know what you mean, yep. And so it's kind of like, the other side of it is, it's just, I feel like there's something about making sure that, you're being not so much heard, but understood, so it's being clear. They're just wanting, I'm hearing like being, and if you're not sure that somebody has got what you're saying or understood what you're asking or what you're sharing, and and that sort of thing, it's about clarifying it as well. Don't be shy to ask for clarification if somebody's sharing some information, and if you've asked a question as well. So there's a two-way thing going on there. It's like making sure that there's maybe that feeling about making sure that you are expressing or communicating what it is that you really want to say, okay? And also listening to what it is that people are asking or sharing with you as well. It's like, so you don't miss a beat as well. So there's a two-way thing going on there. But it's also like, if you're asking a question and you're not getting the answer, not so much like what you want, but it's like so you can understand it. And so it's like, so there's a kind of like, what you want to know. It's like what you want to know is like, but it's not like what you want to hear, basically. It's not about that. It's about, so you understand fully what it is. So because there's like some, Shane, it's like, do you understand that? Do you get that? I was like, actually, I think should we ask for some more clarification about what they mean about what is happening here, there, or there. So it's like, and if you're in a group, it's like, let's just ask. Or even if individually, if you're unsure about what somebody has told you or explained to you, ask for more clarification. And then, and it may be that you might get a little bit more, and if you're still a little bit like confused, or you're still a little bit, it's like ask another question. So I feel like Spirit like teaching or sharing, it's talking about like being, it's talking about, or teaching, sharing, teaching us and others, like, okay, where they going? There's there may be that sort of energy. It's like, how do I actually explain this so I get the message across, you know, without being making somebody feel like they that they're not getting, you know what I mean? Without making somebody feel like not dumb, but along those lines, or uncomfortable, or just, you know, or even, you know, or confuse them. So it's like just being, I feel like the energy has just been clear, because, and I just feel like the energy is really like, you're in it, there's a space now where there is more clarification in a different way that's coming through for you. So your energy, the energy may be a little bit stiller now for you. So because you have released some things for you, so the energy has changed. And even like, I know for me, and it's like pretty much, it's something that's been gearing up that you may, for some of you, that it's been maybe like a little bit like hard and fast for some, and there was not much like leeway for like time in between. But on saying that, it's like I felt like somehow a lot of you have been able to make that little bit of time, or you've sensed it, so you've caught up with yourself in small pockets of time or half the day. And you may have because I'm hearing also that you may be feeling like you maybe like felt like you've wasted time, like just sitting around watching TV or something like that. But I feel, and it may be like now, in coming up to yesterday and the weekend, it's like, but I feel like now it's like there's some sort of a deeper connection with yourself for a lot of yous, and how you roll and how you rock and how you roll, basically, in another way to how you used to be. So it seems to be like this, something's shifted like within you, and it's like, okay. So I do feel like the energy is like slowing down, or like not slowing down in slowing down, or in a holding type period, the holding pen sort of place, but it's not actually holding you. It's like it's holding you, not holding you back, but it's holding you in the sense that holding you in your space, okay, for the moment, and for the moments, for the time that you're contemplating, processing, and you know, all those sorts of things, as you move into this new moon space. I wanted to say series, actually. Series, yeah, basically there's like, because you're building up a new energy or a new framework for yourself as you're moving forward into a new life, or a new being, or a new knowing, or whatever it is for you as you know it, and as you once knew it to be, it's not what it was. So there's this, and it's kind of like, I'm just feeling like this confused, but not so confused. So there's just like pondering, okay, about what it is. So I'm feeling like there's a sense of grounding that is probably needed for you. So, and I have hematite that's popped out for you, the crystal that's popped out today for you. It's number 26, and number 2 is about relationships, and 6 is about a service, you know, what we do for a service to humanity. So 2, it's like, I think, you know, there's that feeling like what Spirit had given me is that feeling of it's like, you know, not so much of being, or how you can be of service to humanity, yes, and it may be just like, as in like viewing how you fit in the world and what you can contribute to the world, even from home. And maybe not necessarily that you're going to join a a club or something like Greenpeace or something like that. It's about what you can, it may be something for you about what you can do in and around your home that brings peace to you. to you, you know what I mean? And like it could be like being grateful for where you are and the pets that you have and the land that you live in, or the you know, the live that you live on as well in your home, and what you're able to contribute, you know, as far as, you know, the environmental side of things. And it could be anything, you know, or like what you're able to contribute to, like giving things away that you don't need, or to places like the Sallies or something like that, you know. It's whatever it is, it's something. And it may be that you're able to send healing out to different people or situations around the world, and just sending out healing energy or something like that. But I feel like the key thing here is about grounding as well. And so hematite has come up. So I've just found some quick notes on the internet about hematite, with just some, you know, brief description about what hematite can help us with. So just gaze into this energy. So this could be a really nice crystal for you throughout this month as you contemplate a phase of learning within you. So hematite crystals possess an astounding balancing and grounding energy. These stones have greatly protective energy, as well as good in helping women who lack courage. They are also powerful they are also helpful and powerful in assisting in stimulating the mind, may heighten self-confidence, self-esteem, and willpower. So these are the basic, you know, benefits, or what hematite can offer you. I'm not going to read the ones from the book because I kind of feel I'm not drawn to doing that. So but you can like Google it and see what comes up for you. But and once again, if you have hematite around you, that's wonderful, or you're able to get a hold of it, that's wonderful. If you aren't able to get a hold of it, Google it and see if you can find some really nice images, or an image that resonates with you and sends out lots of beautiful energy for you to you know, melt into, or let it melt into you. So I feel like that's the only crystal I want to draw out today for this week for you. Because you may be feeling a little bit floaty and all over the place as well. But on saying that, like you may have felt, even like now, feeling my energy in the way that you know, my speaking at the moment, there seems to be like a more purposeful or a more knowingness within you. And so there's a lot like this calmness about you. It's like so and you're seeing and feeling or sensing from your senses more so than just from your mind, you know, like letting your mind or your logic side, your right brain, you know, there seems to be maybe more balance for you, maybe feeling. Some of you may not be feeling it right now, and it may feel a little bit foreign to you in some ways. And so, but it's like keeping yourself grounded and centered and focused. I'm also getting like, could be something like clear quartz crystal would be a really nice one to have around you as well, to have that centeredness and, you know, that focus in there. But also there's an element of, you know, and keeping that clear energy, that which I feel like, you know, Spirit are joining me to, like it will team up nicely with hematite. Okay, but if you feel like there's another one there that you are more you know, that you are attuned to at the moment, or is resonating with you, then absolutely add that to it if you feel like that you want to have that around. But it's interesting because I have been wearing a lot of hematite around, and it's kept me quite groundful and groundful and grateful. So there's that sort of energy is in there. Cool. Okay, so this one's like all tied up, number 23. So 2 and 5. 2 and 3 is 5. So I want to go straight to that actually, because it is all about energy. So it's being mindful about, you know, what you are seeing and feeling and vibrating, and how you are vibrating that out to the universe, to, you know, people as well. So keeping a check-in on that, and just making, because if you in what you're wanting to manifest into your life. So 2 is about relationships, and 3 is about bringing balance. So balance. So there's something in there with that sense of being all tied up. So maybe you've got yourself all tied up, as in all frazzled up and tied up with something. Some of you will be all tied up with something that probably some of you are maybe trying to wangle your way out of, or wangle your way into something. It's like, but I do feel the other side of it is, something is all tied up. So some of you may be like, wondering about what is going to be happening with work, or with a business proposal, or a work interview, or job, or something like job interview, or a work promotion, or just even work in general, how that's going. So there's something about that all tied up is like not getting all tied up in knots about it. Otherwise, which goes back to the energy side of things, is like because you're going to send out an energy of worry and fear and all that sort of thing, which is not going to help this situation. So, and it's like because it's in. Okay, and then on saying the other side of that, the flip side of it, or the runoff from that, is that there is something that is all tied up for you. So it's like having trust and having faith. So if you maybe say, for instance, maybe your job may be on the line or something because of the circumstances, that your employer might be facing or going through financially. So it's like, sometimes when we sometimes we're forced to move out of something, and sometimes there's there is a choice to stay or go with whatever it is, whether it be a job or a relationship or whatever. But there are times then where things move, and then we may have no option but to go with the flow of it. So and what I'm hearing is just remembering that maybe that's a good thing, and looking for the good in it rather than the negative in it, and focusing on the good, even though it may have something to do with your money or finances or something like that. But it's but it's just like, yep, that might be happening, but like switching the energy around to something of more, having more faith and trust in yourself, but in that, knowing that there's actually, what else is there, that what else is possible, and that something better, just as good or better, is coming up around the corner for you. And so utilizing the time in between that to learn about yourself, and because I think the other word that's come through is like resilience, and that's come through a little, a couple of weeks ago, is about learning about ourselves and how we cope. And which leads to resilience. And how resilient are we when things happen that kind of don't go our way? Are you going to spit the dummy and sit in self-pity for ages, or it's just a scenario, or you're gonna, or you're just going to stay in the emotional side of attachment to that, and sit in your emotion and make emotional decisions, or decisions based on emotions, which usually don't turn out so well when we make, because women usually, I know for me, I say usually because not all the time, that when we make that decision, sometimes it's like can be quite impulsive decision making. That's why there's that usually coming out. So unless it's something different. So they're just getting to you to like mindfully think about that. Be mindful about being the impulsive side of things. Okay, before making decisions. So there is the energy that is there is like really beautiful and purposeful there. So it's like making decisions, that are going to serve you for your highest good. And sometimes we're just meant to not do anything, but just go with the flow, but also, and not like stop the flow or resist the flow, because we miss the opportunities that are there, that we can see that maybe there, and it may not happen overnight with some of those opportunities, but there's a little clue that's coming up for you that they're showing you to showing you to take note of what could be coming, so that it sets you up to align up with whatever, with so much more, basically. Okay, so anyway, new love is the next card that's fallen out for you this week. So new love for some of you, going back to this 2 and the 3, is definitely something for some of you is about new love coming in, or new love that you may have seen within your partner, or your spouse within you now. And it also might be a new love of yourself, in the sense, because we quite often, maybe like appreciating yourself more by, just by looking at, from where you've come from to where you are now, okay? And having a more of an appreciation of yourself and taking care of yourself. But I do feel like for some of you who are single, and maybe not so single, not judging or anything like that, because it is what it is. And that's just the way the world, way it rolls. So anyway, for some of you, like I say, it may be a new love for those who are single, and some of you who may already be married. It could be within your relationship. For some, for a lot of you, I feel like it would be within your relationship. For some of you, it will be outside of it may be outside of your relationship, so that you already are currently in. But there is a different, and some of you, it will be for yourself, about yourself, or about what you're seeing in life. And about what you're seeing in life, what you see in like family members, and how you rock and how you roll, with relationships in your. So there may be some sort of a view, a new view coming in and around you. So the other thing that's coming up is that this card here is like, be honest with yourself, okay? And that is like where they're really going, is be honest with yourself. When you're looking into, because that's what Spirit are bringing through, is like really looking through into ourselves a bit more and on a deeper level, and it's being honest with yourself, but also loving yourself within that time. Because it's like show up to yourself too. Sometimes we've got to step up to the plate to ourselves, and give ourselves a bit of a kick up the backside. So this week there will be a lot of things that may come up for you, okay? And this one here, there is no drama unless you make it so. So that's kind of where they're going with that one. And manifestation, I don't know, with these cards all turned upside down, and I'm thinking, I don't know where I'm going with that, but I'm just going to read it, okay? Manifestation. Say I love you to you first and foremost, okay? Because when we have a really good relationship with ourselves, and we know who we are, and we respond to ourselves lovingly, and do things that we love as well, and do things in a loving way, and how we connect with people, how we connect with our pets, how we connect with the world, how we connect with the universe, but how we connect with ourselves is really important. So anyway, and then some of you, there's marriage, so there may be, for some of you's marriage, going back to that new love, could be that, in there. And the last one out is vision board. So this is one of the things I like to do every now and then, even though I have had a vision board for a little while. And every now I look at it and I'm thinking, okay, so I might have achieved some things. And some things I'm not quite there yet, but I'm still living it up there. So you maybe for some of you, adjusting that, adding it, and ticking something off, or doing a whole new one, or doing one like that's separate for each part of your life. It's whatever, but the vision board really helps to keep us in focus and that sort of sense as to where we're wanting to go, what we are wanting to do, be, and have in our lives. So this is kind of like that. You'll probably notice that the readings that are coming through are more more of a healing energy behind it, to help support us, or use through us, because I'm a Gemini too, support you through what you're going through like right now. Okay, cool. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there, because that's all I've got for you this week, Gemini. So lots of love, peace, harmony, and joy. excitement and adventure. Oh, the other thing is, if you're wanting a reading and or a healing session, yeah, please look at the description box below where my details are, and you can make contact with me there. I also want to finish off saying thank you very much to everybody who has subscribed to my YouTube channel and or my Facebook page, and you followed or liked me on there. Please feel free to leave a comment and or a thumbs up or a like on either platform. It's just helps get the energy flowing, and it also helps to build my YouTube channel. Cool. So like I say, thank you very much for your support. And also for those of you who haven't subscribed, please do that now, or yeah, now. I usually say this at the beginning, so that'll be cool. Anyway, I look forward to catching up with you next week on Monday. Bye for now.